Hello, David. Hello, Noga.
Salut.
Hi. You are getting very popular in Kurdistan. You know the song Para, more than 70,000 people so far have seen it. So, and Kurdish people love you, both of you. And they ask me a lot of questions about you. So, where shall we start? With you, Noga, or with David?
Whatever you want.
I mean, you start. David, would you like to speak in French or in English language?
I don't know, both, les deux, il n'y a pas de problème. I just hope that people will understand if I speak French. J'espère que les gens comprendront si je parle français. I think you said that there is a Kurdish community in France.
Oh yeah, it's a big community in France. Yeah,
Big community in France.
yeah.
Okay,
Well,
I can
the
speak
biggest
French.
one is in Germany, and the second one is in Sweden, and the
So-
third one is in America.
Actually, you can speak German, I can speak French.
No, I mean
Yes,
whatever you feel comfortable. You know,
okay.
do you feel more comfortable in French language?
Doesn't
Okay.
matter, I can speak
If you
French,
you introduce yourself to our Kurdish musicians mainly and friends, who are you, David? Yes. Great.
That's the best introduction.
That's introduction. That's told us a lot about your name, about and about your background.
If I can say something, it's you know, I was born in France, in
Yeah.
Paris, but my mom's friends were mainly, you know, from Mediterranean culture, the Arabic people, Jews people, people from Italy, people from
Mixed, yeah.
Mediterranean culture. So I took a part of this Mediterranean culture, you know, Middle East a bit, you know, when I was young, when I was 5 years old, something like that. We used to eat couscous, stuff like that.
So
At home,
you were brought up in a multicultural society.
yeah, multicultural society, African, French, Portuguese, Asian. I felt that I'm multicultural. I am
Yeah.
because my mom is from Martinique Island, which is a
Yeah.
small and tiny French overseas department in the Caribbean. You know, for the people there who don't know where it is, the location, it's
Yeah.
between. It's really close from Venezuela and Colombia. That people speak French and Creole there. And
Okay.
it's also a multicultural society. I mean, you have all the civilization, you have the African heritage, the French heritage, the Indus heritage, native heritage, Chinese heritage, and Syrian, Lebanese, and Palestinian heritage there. So it's a mix. Then actually, my mom is mixed race, my father is black, so you have all these things combined.
Which is nice. It's beautiful to have, you know, all those races into your personality. Okay. What about you, Noga?
Yes. What do you want to know?
Well, in your singing, you know, para para. People are telling me you look very beautiful, energetic, and sexy. Naughty. So
You say that. Okay.
all right. And now you're getting very popular in Kurdistan. What do you think about this popularity?
Well, I think the song is really good,
Yeah.
and it's really fun to sing it. And I rather speaking about singing in the song than other things that you just mentioned.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you feel about your feedback about Kurds who love you both now?
Well,
young people.
I wish we could meet and perform and play with Kurdish musicians. That'd be amazing, and learn more about Kurdish music.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's so rich and beautiful.
Okay. Can we know a bit about your background and about, if you don't mind, you can keep it a secret for yourself if you don't talk about it.
No, it's no secret.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm from Israel. I grew up in Israel. And I left Israel 6 years ago. I lived in Berlin in Germany. Now I'm here in London for already 4 years. I sing, I play piano, I write songs. And I like to write about life, about experience, also about political opinions, a bit like Nawroz, but in a different way.
Yeah.
About love, about anything that inspires me. Tell stories and spread them to whoever wants to listen.
How long have you been together, you and David?
Almost 5 years.
5 years. On the 22nd of November, it's going to be 5 years.
Congratulations. And you don't have children?
Not yet.
An album is coming out.
Yeah,
An album.
That's
Child
our
by
baby.
itself. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Child by itself.
Where did you meet?
We met in a jam session in a Palestinian bar in Berlin, Germany.
Palestinian bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are from Israel, a Jew?
Yeah.
How is that possible? That's very strange for us in Middle East, to hear that. It's a Jewish lady in Palestinian bar? No.
The thing, I didn't know that it was a Palestinian bar. I met Noga because the guy who was running the open mic was Robert, the British guy or Irish guy that I met in the other open mic, and he told me that you should go to an open mic that I'm running, and then he was a friend of Noga, but he didn't tell me that for me it was just a bar and I went there. That was interesting. By the way, a lot of musicians from Denmark, there's a musician from Denmark who came, America. I mean, it is international place. It's not something that you have only one. You have all the nationality, in Berlin. That, I think, makes it really interesting when you can blend all this culture together. That's how we met.
Yeah. I mean, you can put some light on it, Noga, because it's very strange for our people in the Middle East, particularly Muslims, who don't know that much about Israel.
Yeah.
And it's very strange for them. They think if a Jewish lady or a Jewish man in a Palestinian bar, sorry to say, they might think, oh, maybe they are spying, or maybe they are, double agent, whatever. What do you think? Why is this?
I think it's really complex situation, but since the occupation in Israel, because of the occupation for so long and so many people that have been repressed in this country, then that's why you have these kind of reactions. But in the end of the day, I think if people are looking into people and not into what's their religion or where they're from,
race,
what's the nationality, if they just literally look into the eyes of the people and try to understand what they went through, why they think what they think, why they're brainwashed, etc. And you just want to get to know the people, like David was saying, you're open-minded, you want to get to know the other culture, you want to collaborate, you want to understand. That's where it's possible to meet people from different sides of conflicts.
Okay, so do you think music can play a big role in bringing people together?
Yeah, I believe so. But I think it's not only music. You need to also be curious, and you need to have knowledge, and you need to seek for the knowledge in different resources, and not always believe to what people tell you, what the media tell you, what the government tell you. You should meet the people yourself and get the information from them directly. So obviously music is a really good tool for that. It's international.
So both of you, do you think your music is affecting people in terms of making a bit of participating in peacemaking or bringing people together or bringing different cultures together?
I think the fact that we kind of mix our influences as musicians, as people, from completely different cultures and different backgrounds, that can inspire other people to do so as well. And at the same time, it also invites different audience to come to our performances. The same like when we performed with you, so it invited another influence.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's contagious.
It shows in a way that everything is possible. You know, like Noga said, she said everything. You have to want to meet people by yourself. You know.
Yeah.
I think so.
And
if you want to make things happening, like when we met you, it's a good example. Too.
Yeah, I mean, I loved working with both of you, and really I enjoy it. And I worked before with Daphna Sada, and she's a great lady. She's a great composer. Herself, she is from Israel, and just like you, a very liberal lady, you know, secular, liberal, and she's still, you know, sometimes when there are events, she's inviting me. I worked with her more than 15 times.
Wow.
And even I sang in a synagogue, and it was great, yeah. And of course, I worked with the Armenians, with Catholics, and I sang in churches, in mosques, everywhere. But that's just me because I'm a great musician.
Because your voice.
Yeah, your voice
has no barriers.
And because I'm a modest one as well.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a joke, and he didn't laugh.
Wow,
Me, I'm laughing because of your voice, to be honest. With your voice. You don't make a joke. It's the sound of your voice that makes me joke.
Thank you. Let's talk about the technical side of it, David. So, when did you pick up this technique and, you know, doing...
Beatboxing?
Yes, beatboxing.
I started, you know, when I was 12 years old, 25 years ago. So basically the story, to make it shorter, I wanted to have a drum kit, you know, on the flat. My mom will never buy any drum kit. So I remember myself after school on the note page, taking, you know, pens and beats, you know, the note page, trying to doing music. At that time as well, I was with my friends, classmates, doing a sort of noise, like that, you know.
Yeah.
And then when I started to be more interested by music, yeah, my mom bought me a sort of toys, red with some pads, you know, with the yellow pads and the scale of the drum kit, you know. And I didn't know why I started to really imitate the sound. It was like a punch, sounded more like a punch than the snare drum, like. When I was ready, at school, I started to do the drum kit, because my mom also bought me all the keyboards that we were using for the album, and I learned all the rhythms. It was a rhythm like a rock and roll.
Great.
that basically. So the technique was based on the coughing. That's the only way I found. So first of all, go to the music stores, listen the drum kit, memorize the drum kit. And then after trying to figure out how I could find a technique that it could be fit, like the same sound like a snare drum, for example. So basically the technique is really simple for the drum kit. Like it's so I take off the and I only keep the attack. And I put a little bit of the voice like, and the same frequencies like the normal snare, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then I just had of the coughing attack, like a. It's not a. It's a. And so it does. And I took off to keep only not the wings, but only the sound, the voice, and the coughing attack.
It's very dangerous for a singer to do that.
Probably, but for me, you know, I grew up with these things. I started at 12 years old, So I guess, and I do believe that the fact, and I started before
Your voice broke.
my voice broke, the muscle, just get used to do that. That's like a gymnastic, in a way,
Okay. Same question to you, Noga. What about the technical side? I mean, I know you are very educated musically, and you've got your master degree in music, and possibly you are studying PhD. I'm not sure.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet, no.
And I know you are teaching music as well.
Yeah.
So, if you tell us about the techniques or about your teaching,
Okay.
or when did you start singing and
Well, I always sang as a kid in all different kind of groups in the school, in the scouts, in the neighbourhood, singing songs, performing. I used to do theatre as well, so performed since I'm like 5.
theatre?
Both theatre, singing, dancing. I love performing, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Just being on stage and communicating with audience. Then when I moved to Berlin, I took some jazz singing lessons and got back to play the piano as well. And then when I moved to London, I studied in London's Centre for Contemporary Music, my BA, and then at the Guildhall, like MA, focusing on leading workshops and also mixing mixing education with music, but in a more creative way, and using music for kind of social events, cross-cultural events, and learning from whoever I meet and collaborate with. For example, Nawroz taught me technique as well. Dalby taught me technique. African musicians I work with taught me technique.
We learn from each other.
Exactly. So I think that's why London is great, because you meet so many different musicians and singers from around the world, and you can really pick up techniques. And I learned songs in Chinese, in Hindu, in Kurdish, in Arabic.
Yeah, Kurdish with me, as well.
Yeah,
you sang
Lingala, Walaf, Feroz, and singing different languages is kind of improving your instruments, having more sound, and it's fascinating. So I learn all the time, and when I teach, I'm just trying to bring out the natural voice of my students, so that they can fulfill their full capacity.
You do speak. I mean, your English is so good. It's fantastic. You have no any problem with it, or any accent. Almost, you sound like a British person. Do you speak the same way in German language?
When I lived in Germany, which was 4 years ago, my German was quite fluent. I guess now less because I haven't practiced, but it's quite okay, yeah.
So, apart from German language and Hebrew and English, do you speak another language?
No.
Do you speak Arabic?
I sing a bit in Arabic.
Yeah. Which is very nice. Okay.
And I will learn Arabic and French, hopefully.
What I love, about both of you, it's not only your singing and your dancing and your all this activity, your academic work, but I love the soul. Both of you have pure heart, very genuine people, and loving people and caring people, and you care for people and for people who work with you on the stage and for your audience. Why do you think? What is this? Where did you get this from, both of you?
Where? That's a good question.
Purity, pure soul. Both of you. I mean, I would say to both of you, you are the hunters of the soul. But I don't want to use the word hunter because it's not nice. You are the catcher of the souls. Both of you. I'm not flattering both of you, but this is from my experience. I've noticed, and yeah.
From my part, personally, I feel that I always kept some part from my childhood, the spirit. I always felt the things I always wanted to do, to achieve something, since I started the things when I was 5 years old. 6. And then when I was 11, more things came. At that time, you don't really know what it is, but you feel like it's like an appeal, an appel
Yeah.
to something that you want to do. You know, it was all the time the same thing. You know, it was about creativity and science.
Do you feel do you feel spiritual when you are performing? Do you feel it?
It depends. It depends of the song that I'm doing. Sometimes I'm more focusing, you know, the technical thing because I don't want to miss, you know, the next note. But yeah, there's something spiritual. For example, when I am working on the show, I want to the people to feel, the crowd feel the message. For example, I'm not a singer like Noga. I can sing. So most of my stuff it's a noise, rhythms, melodies, and
but I saw you singing beautifully with her. You know, last time you sang. You know, you pretended to be an Indian man. I love that piece. It was beautiful. Actually, I was surprised when you did that.
I think what you can consider as a spirituality for me is my first passion. For example, like coming back to the childhood, my first passion was astronomy. It's still. All the passions are still here. It's just sleeping, but it's all the time there, you know.
Yeah.
Astronomy, you know, to be connected to the stars, to the galaxy, you know. So when sometimes I'm making music, or I build instruments, and for hours to practice music, I feel the connection to my spiritual origin, which is space and the universe and music, and this is what I want to share in a way.
Well, that's a new theory. It says we are all came from spaces. We are bits of spaces, you know. You know, the stars got exploded, and we are made of that. That's one of the theories.
I feel deeply connected to that because, you know, on my own I read a lot of books about physics, and until when I was 24, 25 years old, I felt that maybe I wanted to study physics more seriously, you know, but after it seems like music took the advantage.
Well, philosophically, if we get connected to the stars, then there is no spirituality. It means we are all materials.
No, it depends how you see things, because you need both. The spirit gives incarnation with the matter, you know. It's both things, you know. We have soul.
Yeah.
But you need, for example, if when I want to build one instrument, I have a spirit, I know what I want to use as element. Like combine things.
Execute it.
You execute it, but you have a spirit. The spirit is the idea of what you want to achieve, what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel I'm connected. You know, when I look at the moon, I think the moon is my cousin, or the sun is my cousin. We are from the same material, same family.
I think it all depends how you see things. You can watch the moon and feel nothing.
Yes.
You have a text that sometimes says that I heard, I think it's from the Bible, I'm not religious, but yes, I crossed the desert and it was written that I'm supposed to feel something, and then the wise guy asked him, did you feel something when you crossed the desert? No? Or yes, you know. Because he interpreted, you know, by letters, but it wasn't by letters, it was more by feeling. So you can watch something in front of you which means nothing, and for her it will mean something, you know. It's all about how you look at things. But me, because of the childhood and the astronomy was like something strong.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Because it was something really, really, really strong. I felt a connection.
Last question. What is your message for Kurdish people who love you? What do you want to say?
We love you back, and hopefully we can perform for you, we'll meet you, play with you, and continue to follow us and Nawroz, and hopefully we'll bring you some more great music together.
Para, dunya bitana yara, dunya bitana yara. Para, dunya bitana yara, dunya bitana yara. عافينة صاري غصانة قرمي بايز بهاري بهار kermi. Para, 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 para. Dünya bir tane yare, dünya bir tane yare. Para, 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 para. Dünya bir tane yare, dünya bir tane yare. Ne yare? Thank you.
We love you, Nawroz.
We love you too. Thank you so much.
You. Okay, I guess to go to